Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's me, Winch Will. So yeah, no criminal case video today. As you guys read in the title, I have just completed my first year of college. I have made videos in the past talking about my experience, the pros and the cons for my 1 week experience, then 1 month experience. And I'm not sure if I talked about my first semester back in December. But one thing I want to say before starting, thank you guys for the amount of love and support you have given me towards the criminal case videos throughout the months. And I'm so excited to be finishing season 1 and starting on season 2 eventually. Now, let's get into it, and I will leave timestamps in the description if there are certain sections you want to hear about because I'm not sure how long this video will be. I want to start with the cons, mainly because 1, we want to end the video on a good note, don't we? And 2, there's really only one major con that I've experienced this year. And that con is my existential crisis. I didn't know what I wanted to do in college, and there was a lot of moments where I wanted to do almost everything. I was interested in a lot of programs and other activities in college to the point where I was more focused on finding what works for me than my actual classes, which is bad, and you shouldn't be distracted by too many ambitions. Alright, let's go back to where it started in 2023, where I wanted to be a photographer. And as I mentioned many times, my family was unsupportive of me doing photography. Instead, they wanted me to be a mechanical engineer because it guarantees 2 things. 1, job stability, and 2, a good salary. And as I'm looking back at it now, maybe I should have been more realistic with my goals because they did have some points, but they forgot the most important thing about pursuing a career. You must be passionate about it, even if it's just mildly interesting. Because tell me this, 2 students, one who's interested in mechanical engineering and the other who is only there because of the pay. Tell me, who is likely going to perform better in their classes? The one who's interested in the field or the one who only wants to do it for the money? Obviously, it depends on the person, but most likely someone who is interested in mechanical engineering would do better in their classes since they would want to learn more about it. It's interesting to them. That's their push. That's their motivation to do well. For me, I can't see myself in the field. I can't see myself fixing and building machines. That's not what I'm passionate about, and that's not something I want to learn more of. The only push for me would be to satisfy my family and get an A at the end of the day. But what's the point? You're brought into this life, and you have the opportunity to pursue something that you want to learn more of and be good at, right? Why would I use that opportunity to choose something that my family thinks is best when I know it isn't for me? Whose life is it now? Mine or theirs? The point is, the reason why I was against them is not because I don't care about finding a job with stability and a good pay. It's more so the fact that they were forcing me to do something that doesn't represent me. Engineering is difficult itself, but it's even worse when you're not passionate about it. I was never against finding a job with stability and a good pay. I was only against finding a job only for the stability and a good pay. There has to be passion and motivation for me to pursue it, and I don't see that with engineering. And my friend enrolled in computer science, and he called me in the middle of the night once to talk about dropping out, since he doesn't see himself doing coding and algorithm designing for the rest of his life. So yeah, the existential crisis is what was draining me. I was so scatterbrained and indecisive on what I wanted to do, to the point where I was even asking ChatGPT and other AI tools to help me make a decision. That's how low it's gotten. When I tell people that I switched my major 8 times, yes, 8 times, they disbelieved it, but it's true. Well, maybe switch isn't the accurate term. I'll say considered and discussed about it with my counselor. I originally enrolled in digital media, then I ended up being an undecided major, then I tried to switch to media studies, then marketing, then IT software development, then IT game development. Then I wanted to add a second major in management information systems. And finally, I ended up going with IT computer networks as my primary academic plan, with my subplans being a minor in management information systems and Asian studies. Why minor in Asian studies? Because I want to study abroad in Japan. That's pretty much it. Anyways, I think computer networking and administration sounds like an interesting field. I originally wanted to be a web and game developer, as I said in the Hello Future Me 4 video back in February. But after this semester of just burnouts from numerous coding and designing projects, I ended up choosing networking and infrastructure management because I heard they don't do coding and programming as much as web and game developers do. Plus, they get to do more with hardware, project management, and troubleshooting and configuration. You know, I'm not the type of person who can stay in one place staring at a screen all day. I enjoy talking to people, moving around, and having a variety of things that I can do. So I think network administration and IT project management is a good area to try to get into, which is also why I'm minoring in management information systems. Plus, I don't see myself spending every day of the week typing and debugging lines of code for the rest of my life, and spending hours being frustrated over a damn semicolon. At that point, just do computer science. I see myself fixing and troubleshooting systems, not coding them from scratch. Now, with the pros. I spent my entire first year exploring and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life and who the heck I am, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing since I learned more about myself, what I liked and disliked, and also I grew up mentally and emotionally too. Socially, I'm more extroverted and confident compared to when I was in high school. The more time I spent in college, the more reasons I found in hating high school. People in high school treated me like a doormat. I let people walk over me and use me for their own personal gain. I tried so hard to seek validation from these suckers, especially the popular kids, and I got myself into drama, rumors, and gossiping on social media and in person. My principal was terrible, if you remember what she did to me back in 2023. It made me realize the things that I wanted in high school, such as popularity, validation, large friendships, and to be liked by people, those don't matter in college. I stopped caring about any of that. I did what made me happy. I spent no second worrying about others and trying to fit in. I also didn't care about what the people in my high school were doing since I dropped 90% of them after graduating. I met new friends and joined organizations such as my Vietnamese club. I made a lot of connections throughout the year, and this ties in with my boost in confidence and more extroverted behavior. I took social risk, and I even got the Instagram of this one girl who works at my mom and I's favorite boba place because she knows my friends from my Vietnamese club. And because I go to my campus's Starbucks nearly every day, the employees there recognize me to the point where they remember my name and exact order. A 20 mocha frappuccino. And although I'm still single, I'm happy and thankful with the people I have met so far, except for the brunette who blocked me because I didn't want to pay her $5. That's a story for a different day. There are some people who still act like high schoolers though, don't get me wrong. As I mentioned, the brunette, but there are a few who I encountered that were just immature, outright rude and disrespectful, and annoying. And there was also this one sophomore who I thought was cute. She worked at our local campus cafe. I added her on LinkedIn because I was considering working there for volunteer hours and experience. I did find her Instagram. Saying this out loud, I guess old habits die hard. Yeah. So her boyfriend followed me on Instagram and unfollowed me. I guess he was trying to let me know that she's taken. Yeah. I need to stop with the relationship search. It makes things difficult, and I don't want to return to my old high school ways. That was the only one instance though. I have dialed down with finding a relationship, mainly because I'm already too focused on switching majors 8 times. Haha. Although, can I at least still get a job reference from her for the cafe though? I need them volunteer hours. Oh, speaking of volunteer hours and renewing scholarships, I do find joy in volunteering. I remembered I was partnered with an elderly woman where we bonded while picking up trash and litter from our local neighborhoods. The only thing I don't like about volunteering is, well, one, it's structured. It's less about volunteering and more about getting a certain amount of hours to renew scholarships. 2, it's annoying and sometimes difficult to find and do volunteering when you're dealing with classes, assignments, projects, and other priorities on the weekends. But at the end of the day, it feels rewarding knowing how disgusting people are because they leave trash on the streets. And I even see people putting trash in the recycle. My family does that too, and it pisses me off. My sister just puts recyclables in trash, while my dad puts trash in recycling. My mom is neutral, but she puts recyclables in trash sometimes too. And speaking of my mom, and although she and I still argue sometimes, she has gotten a lot better. I think she's beginning to realize that me and my sister are getting older, and she needs to respect our boundaries and independence a bit more. It took a few tries this year to get her to understand that, and I think she's coming around. College has been a very enjoyable experience. The work itself is hard as it is, but with all the pros that I mentioned, it's fun and worthwhile, and I enjoyed it 100 times more than high school. In terms of academics, there are probably better alternatives such as trade schools, community college, transfer credits, and credentials and certifications. I know for cybersecurity, you don't necessarily need a bachelor's, but certifications. Even for IT computer networks, I also plan on earning certifications and credentials as well. College has been a learning experience, full of risk-taking and forming new connections, and doing things that you don't often do, or maybe you never did them. Like, I never knew the joy of zipping around on an electric scooter at night until I got one myself. The electric scooter definitely was worth the investment. It distracts from stress, it's fun, it's quick and efficient, and it feels like you own a motorcycle basically. And now that it's over, I was there when my friends moved out of their dorms, which is sad because I know they have different housing plans next year, making it harder to meet up and do stuff together. On top of that, we will be sophomores, meaning we will be busier with more challenging classes, finding internships, and so forth. In fact, I cried. I will admit, I cried. I even cried when the first semester ended, but now the full year. I didn't cry when I left high school. Well, not sad tears, but more like happy tears because I hated that place. Anyways, of course, I miss my friends from high school, but with college, I think I will miss everyone. That's how you know quality over quantity. I only met and knew these people for a year, and I'm teary that it's over. While in high school, I knew them for 12 to 13 years, but barely shed a tear. At most, maybe 10 people, but half of them went to the same institution anyways. The others went to a different one together, but we're still close friends and talking on messages and stuff like that. And the other is a teacher, and I still visit her at the high school sometimes. Other than them, really, I don't miss anyone from high school. With college, I feel more alive and had more energy. I was definitely more productive and socially out there. For once, I was happy. My depression even went away for once, although there have been some moments. I'm not a homebody. I can't just watch TV, play video games, and sleep all day and every day. That's just not me, at least anymore. I'm glad to be done with classes in my first year, but I'm not ready to leave campus. I'm not ready to see all my friends leave to different cities, states, and even countries. Time is moving faster than I thought it was.